Welcome everyone to our emotional balance workshop. I'm Christy Gammon, wellness advocate with doTERRA essential oils for almost 10 years now. And joining me tonight is Nicole Warner, licensed massage therapist and also doTERRA wellness advocate. And we're thrilled to be bringing you this workshop. We've been teaching it together for about, I think, 6 months now. And it's been really wildly popular. I think we've helped a lot of people just kind of get in tune with their emotions, how they're feeling, and then how to work through and process through them. So we just have a couple of announcements by way of housekeeping as we get started. As we all settle in, I want to invite you to grab a beverage. We highly recommend water because in order for your first part of the seminar to flow really well with what Nicole's about to teach you, it helps if you're well hydrated. So having a bottle of water on hand to sip as we go is a really good idea. So grab that if you need. We also recommend a piece of paper or journal and a pen. And finally, for Nicole's portion, we'd love to have you grab either an essential oil or a food item or a vitamin or supplement. Any of those will work with the demonstration that she's going to do. And I think those are all the things that we'll need. Yeah, so if you just want to take a second to grab those, I've got water, oil, pen and paper. I am good. I'll just give everybody a second here. And while you're gathering those items, I will just do a short intro of my friend. Nicole and I have been friends for about 6 years now. And in addition to being doTERRA teammates and business partners, we met through church. And we also work together now at Inner Wisdom Healing Center, where we're not only business partners, but we also exchange our services for each other. And I'm just one of her biggest fans when it comes to every kind of massage therapy, from craniosacral to deep tissue and everything in between. And one of my favorite things about Nicole is that she's always learning and growing and bringing something new to share. And so one of those new therapies that she's learned over the past couple of years is what she's going to be highlighting for us tonight, body code and emotion code. And so with that, I will turn it over to Nicole.
Thank you, Christy. This is exciting. It's always exciting to learn something new, and now that we're online, it's new for me, not for you. But yes, so I want to talk a little bit about our emotions, our mood, just where we are in life. Specifically now, we're all kind of in this whirlwind or this stress. It's either we're stuck or we're moving, but we don't know where to go, and all of the changes that are coming, and especially those of us who have a business that we're going to have to be wearing masks. I think everybody is now, but the uncertainty of all of that. But in life, we go through these ups and downs and these where we need to talk to somebody, or we just want to know why we have this nervous twitch or something. Those are kinds of things that emotion code can help with. So basically, so emotion code is a type of energy healing modality. It's just a tool or a title of like a way to do something. So what we do is we use a technique called muscle testing. Muscle testing is also called applied kinesiology, which is the study of the muscle movement, the energy within the muscle. So you can muscle test many ways, and why we would muscle test is because we are trying to communicate with our subconscious. Our subconscious is infinitely more powerful than our conscious mind. So everything we've done since birth, in the womb, whatever, further back, Our subconscious knows. It is aware of everything we do. Now, we are energetic beings. Everything in this world, everything is energy. So we're all molecules. And I remember learning this in science class when I was little about how a chair is just molecules, just like through your hand, or water, that kind of thing. Anyway, so how does energy work is you have to, well, we're energy beings, so it is the sense of just working with that energy body, or it can also be called spirit body. So we are created with the dust of the earth and the spirit of God, and so that spirit is my belief that is our energy as well. Now everything's energy, even solid things that aren't breathing, but we have God's spirit that is also our energy body. So what the work I do is actually addressing the energy, your energy body, not the physical body. So this is basically, well, let me read a quote from Albert Einstein, because I didn't look it up for so long not to share it. So Albert Einstein said, "We are slowed down sound and light waves, a walking bundle of frequencies tuned into the cosmos. We are souls dressed up in sacred biochemical garments, and our bodies are the instruments through which our souls play their music." And I'm going to read that again. Albert Einstein said, "We are slowed down sound and light waves, a walking bundle of frequencies tuned into the cosmos," which God, depending on your faith, we are souls dressed up in sacred biochemical garments, and our bodies are the instruments through which our souls play their music. So I just discovered that quote today, and I really wanted to share it. Someone else told me today that when God created us in the earth, he sent out vibrational frequencies to create everything, and he created us to be in community with him. So and that's the communication through prayer or energy, either way. It's anyway. Okay, so moving on. I just want to talk about a few things that emotion code can do, and then I'll teach how to muscle test, how you can muscle test yourself. Emotion code basically can do anything. There's a second piece of it called the body code, but that's another conversation. The emotion code is the body code is a computer system, and the emotion code was within it. So emotion code basically means looking for trapped emotions that you are holding on to, and we can hold on to these everywhere. We have hundreds of we can have the same emotion but from a different time. So what my job is to do is to ask you what your issues are, and then what your issue may be. Let's see. So I can cover anything. So stress, tension, worry, fear, dis-ease. So any symptoms. We're not the disease, but like, what are your symptoms? We can look and see what energy is causing them to be more. Just what energy is there that is creating perhaps the symptom. So physical pain can also be helped, because if you're holding on to tension and stress, you hold all that at let's say you hold at your neck and shoulders, you got neck tension, migraines, headaches, you could be holding on to tons and tons of emotional baggage that you've had all your life. So those are things that we can look for. Relationship stress, if you're having trouble finding love, if you're trying to manifest things or have a greater connection with God, and how to pray, or abundance and creating the dream of life that you've always wanted. We work together to kind of help figure out what your path is, or what your goals are. Let's see, so it'll bring more joy, more peace, more hope. Can help change your mindset, your belief system, if you're struggling and stuck in a certain way that's negative. and it can bring you peace and freedom. So what I was, if everyone has their oil, this is a simple muscle testing tool. This is what I usually use when I'm working with you, or there's a technique where you just touch the arm or the leg, and several chiropractors do this. But for sake of time and just so that you can learn something to use yourself, I'll show you the sway test. So let's see. Okay. So you have, okay, so before I have your oil, you just stand. I'm standing on my side so you can kind of see me sway. You guys can stand forward, doesn't matter. And you basically just ask your body, your spirit, your body, show me yes. And a yes answer is going to be that you sway forward. Now, I was very subtle, but I could feel this pressure in my chest. Now, for those of you who've never swayed before, this could take 30 seconds. It could take a while for you to figure out what you're doing. So, and then when I say, and I'm going to let you practice, but when I say, show me no, you're going to sway backwards. And so if you think about it this way, if you you see somebody coming forward and that you want to see and hug, you naturally move forward to them. So that's like a yes, a positive, a true statement. If you see someone you don't want to talk to, you kind of naturally step back and kind of move away from them. So that's the difference there with why you might sway back or sway forward. There is a possibility of someone being switched, and just like any circuit can be switched, electrical circuit, you can actually have your, you can actually give yourself, or you can, if you say show me yes, you can actually sway back if your body is switched. And if that is the case, or you're worried, just talk to me and we'll fix that for you. So what I'm going to have you do is simply stand straight or stand still and close your eyes. And I'm going to just say a positive thing and a negative thing and see if you can feel which way your body's going. So right now, I would like you to think of unconditional love. Okay, now you should have swayed forward, but some people don't really connect with or understand unconditional love, so it's okay if you didn't. The next thing is war, something like fighting. Think of that, close your eyes and think of war. Okay, and so you should have swayed back. So then the other thing is, try this. Ask yourself, show me yes. And now ask yourself, show me no. Okay, so now grab your oil or your vitamin or your food. It really doesn't matter what it is. But what you want to do is you can hold it at your heart or really anywhere, but you can actually just look at it too and ask yourself, do I need that? But I like to hold them. And I just ask myself, I already used some today, so do I need more of this oil today? So I'm swaying forward, so I do. So now I already used a drop. So let me ask, do I need 2 drops of this today? No, just 1 more drop. Okay, yes. Now I could do this pretty quickly because I've been practicing a while. I only need 1 more drop, so I'll take that before bed. So how this works with emotions is I have this chart. It's the emotion code chart. And it has column A and column B, row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then there's all these emotions. So when someone comes into me, we talk about what your issues are, what you want to work on today. And it's okay if you don't have an issue, you just want to have fun and see what's going on. That's fun too. But basically, I just asked, do you have a trapped emotion? Yes or no by swaying. And then we locate what emotion it is by saying, is it in column A, column B, even row, odd row, until we get the right box. And once we get the right box, then I go down the list. Is it abandonment? Is it betrayal? Is it forlorn? Is it lost? Now I go slower because I'm swaying. And I just ask which one it is. I'll get a yes for the one that it is. So then we can find out how old you were when you received that. So let's say lost was the one I got or you got. And I ask, oh, I want to make sure I didn't say this. I always pray before we do this. Always invite the Holy Spirit in and have God, 100% God is here and he is guiding me in this entire process. So we're working together, you and I, asking God for help. And there is a lot of times there's prayer, depending on your language. If you're not a believer, it's okay, because we'll just communicate with different language and it's fine. So we find out what the emotion is, and quite often we need to know what age it came from. And so it may came from 2, 5, 7, 21, 45, it doesn't matter. But then we find out what year that emotion was picked up. And most people are like, oh my gosh, I remember when that happened. Now you might not remember when you were younger, but that's okay. That's fine. Usually your subconscious already knows what happened to you. Sometimes we do need to know more information, like who it was that maybe someone else is involved with. Maybe it wasn't your emotion. Maybe you absorbed it from your parent or something. And then how we clear these emotions is, well, we also may have to ask where it is in the body. So it's possible it could be in your shoulder or your neck or your arm or your wrist. If that's the case, you usually feel some sort of tension there, pressure, pain, that kind of thing. And once we clear it, usually you feel relief, less tension, less pain, that kind of thing. But basically, as you know, we can ask God to clear this stuff, which I always do anyway, but we can pray if we're alone and we know this is an emotion we want to get rid of. We can ask God to clear it, to get rid of it. But as a sign, if I'm in person with you, I'm going to touch you. If you're not, then I'm going to touch myself, because I'm muscle testing your energy through mine, through God. And what I do is either take a magnet 3 times over your head to clear that over your head, it's going to go down the governing meridian line. In acupuncture, there's meridian lines, so it goes straight down the back. And so it's more of a sign just to clear. Now I can take my hand or a magnet or intention, the thought of just clearing it. It's just an important sign. And then most people report feeling very good and peaceful. So I think that's all the information, I think that's everything. At the end, if you have questions, let me know. Oh, and I'm offering 50% off sessions through May for an hour. Thank you.
Wonderful. And we'll be sure to put contact information in the chat box to make sure everybody knows how to connect, especially to be able to schedule an appointment with Nicole and take advantage of that amazing offer. Thank you to anyone who joined us just a few minutes after we began. We've got several more attendees now, and we're thrilled that you're here. I'm going to add just a little bit about essential oils, and then we'll open it up for questions and answers. Let's see where I want to start. So I have something really special that I want to share with everyone tonight, which is a little bit of bonus material that I don't normally have worked in. So I'm going to be brief about a couple of other areas so I don't go over on time. Normally I would begin with my personal testimony, and I would give you some background on how I first learned about doTERRA essential oils, and they became such a big part of my life. And so I won't go into full detail. I do that in a lot of my classes, and so you can pick it up on a future class or on a past recording. But for the purposes of tonight, I do want to say that I found essential oils during a time in my life where I had some really serious physical concerns. And they were so helpful and so supportive to me during that season. And I was just blown away, and I incorporated them into almost every facet of my life. They became our natural medicine cabinet, our first aid, all kinds of wonderful solutions for our family. But it wasn't until a couple years ago that I realized every single essential oil also has a tremendous emotional component. And so I've been just really blessed over and over again to discover all the emotional aspects of each one of the essential oils. And so it'll be fun to share a little bit of that as we go tonight. So let me just say, I do reference a few notes for this class because we touch on a little bit of science and a little bit of math. Neither one of those is my first language. And so I just like to make sure I'm getting everything right for you. So the first thing that I want to share is about our emotions. And in their smallest, most basic form, they are chemical molecules. And this means a couple of important things for us. First, it means that they can reach the inside, the interior of our cells. And that's important because it can help impact our energy levels, our behavior, and our mood. And I think it's just fascinating to consider then how our emotions can have an impact on our overall health. The second thing that's important about them being chemical molecules is that means they can flow freely throughout our bodies. They're not limited to just our mind or maybe our heart space like we might think. But this makes perfect sense then when Nicole talks about a trapped emotion that you might be able to find in your neck or your arm or your leg. If you have a pain that a doctor maybe can't find a physical reason for, you could easily have a trapped emotion in that area. And I thought I would just share a little example of this exact occurrence during my last appointment with Nicole. I had had some strange symptoms and I wasn't quite sure yet what to make of them. I was feeling kind of fatigued and sluggish. Oh, and then the other one was, this was really strange. I wasn't feeling dizziness all the time or vertigo, anything like that. But if I bent over to pick something up or, like shaving your legs in the shower, and I would go to stand back up, I would feel this dizziness, like I was about to fall over. I was just in those instances having some trouble with balance. And so I mentioned those symptoms during our appointment, and she did the body code scan, and we realized that my adrenal glands were not 100% happy. And so we uncovered a few different reasons for that, and one of which was that I had 3 trapped emotions in my adrenal glands. So she did her process through prayer and massage therapy, and then using the magnet, because we found out as much as we could about those 3 emotions. My body said yes, it was ready to release them at that time. And so we were able to process through that during the appointment. And then I supported myself with a couple of essential oils. I came home, I used my reference book to find out what can I do to help support my adrenal glands. And so I thought, I'm just going to monitor for a couple of days. And if I notice improvement, then I'm good. If I feel like I'm still struggling, excuse me, then I can schedule an appointment with my doctor. And so after just a few days, I felt completely fine. I think we had decided that when we asked my body, I needed about 3 days to fully process those emotions, during which time I should start to feel better. And then likewise with the essential oils. So I know it was less than a week that I felt much better. And if you're not aware, your adrenal glands sit, so it would have been right up here, just kind of mid to low back. They sit right on top of your kidneys. And so I applied Purify and Elevation to those adrenals. I think it was once or twice a day for about a month, just to give good solid support. And it was incredible. And I loved looking up the two. And I won't go into full detail because all essential oils have both physical and emotional properties. But just to say a word about Purify, it's always a good oil to use when you're processing, releasing emotions, because it's great for purification, detoxification, and cleansing. And it's an amplifier. It works really well with other essential oils to make them even more effective. And the other oil I'll use to represent the emotional aspects, elevation, it was uplifting, and it fosters emotions such as joy and encouragement and cheer. And so those two together made me feel better, and they actually made my adrenal glands happier. And so I look forward to checking in with them at my next appointment with Nicole and just seeing what the reading is. I certainly had all symptoms subside and felt amazing after just a few days. And so then let me share just a word or two about our essential oils. Now, they are also chemical molecules. So that means the same thing for essential oils that we already covered for emotions. Number one, they can access the interior of our cells and do amazing things there for us. And number two, they can flow freely throughout the body. And so they're also able to reach all different areas. And because both emotions and essential oils are chemical molecules, they interact chemically. And a powerful reaction occurs as they make contact wherever they do in the body. Essential oils are also chemically complex, and this results in their many different uses and applications. So you might hear us talk about a variety of essential oils for many, many reasons, many, many uses. A couple other notes about essential oils: they can promote emotional purification and anchor in healthy biochemistry. So we're actually speaking to our bodies on a biological and chemical scale. We love the smells of our essential oils, but they are way more than aromatherapy for us. Essential oils are efficient at detoxing the cells and restoring proper cell function. And so then let me just say one more thing about essential oils. We'll do a little bit of math, and then we'll move into some specific oils and how we can use them. So because they're extremely molecularly dense, they can sometimes bring about results that are either immediate or permanent or both. And so I like to compare that to the impact of prayer. A lot of times we pray and maybe a miracle occurs, or maybe it doesn't, and that's part of the mystery, and we don't know what kind of answer we're going to get when we pray. But we do know, this is my personal experience, maybe you've had the same, when I pray, after I pray, I feel better. And that's something that you can measure. We all as living beings have a frequency. Things like prayer, things like essential oils, things like food, things that we engage in, things that interact with our bodies, minds, and spirits often have measurable frequencies. So you'll hear us talk about things like energy and vibration. Those can be measured. And so whether you're in health or you're in sickness, you can tell what your frequency is. And some scientists who study this area know that over years of research, they can start with a baseline and figure out what your frequency is. And they know that when you pray, it raises your frequency. And when you use essential oils, it raises your frequency. And when you do both together, it doubly raises your frequency. So just some encouragement. They can tell some other things too, like when we put coffee or caffeine in our bodies, or if we eat processed food, it can lower our frequencies for a time. And so we need to do things to bring balance and bring them back up. And so our essential oils, such as prayer, other tools we can use to have an impact on that. Very cool. And so then let's talk about math just briefly, and the power of just one drop of your essential oil. Like Nicole was mentioning, she just needs one more drop of that oil. And you might think, what's that really going to do? Each one drop of oil has approximately 40 million trillion molecules. And for the sake of argument, we're going to say that our bodies contain 100 trillion cells. Now there's some debate about that, but for just to make the calculation easy, we're going to go with 100 trillion. So in that one drop, then you have enough molecules to cover each one of your cells in your body 40,000 times. That's a lot of love for each of your individual cells. A lot of love coming in to promote emotional and physical detox, help remove any conflicting messages in your cells, and encourage cellular restoration and overall health. I just love that. And so I'm going to end my math and science lesson there and get into talking about some oils. And again, I'm not going to talk too long about all the oils because I want to give a little special attention here at the end. So our first group of essential oils that I want to talk about, you can call this our OG collection. These are our mood management oils. And when I first became a wellness advocate, this was our emotional wellness tool chest. We had these 4 oils. We had Balance, Citrus Bliss, Elevation, and Serenity. Now, with these 4 oils, you can do a lot, actually. The Balance and Serenity represents calming, grounding oils. So if you need to bring your energy or your mind down a little bit so you feel more grounded, more calm, more focused, or even ready to sleep, more restful, those would be the oils that you would choose. And then Elevation and Citrus Bliss represent more uplifting and energizing oils. These are all 4 very powerful blends, just full of amazing single essential oils that have been perfectly blended, not only to smell amazing, but to really help you. And so when would I go to these mood management oils? I like to think, and I'm going to go over 3 groups of oils. This is our first group. I like to use these, say that if I just need to shift my mood. So if I'm just having what feels starting to feel like a long day, it's maybe late afternoon and I need a pick-me-up. I need to shift from maybe feeling a little fatigued, maybe experiencing a little lack of focus, then I could grab either Citrus Bliss or Elevation to give me that late day boost. In contrast, if it's time to settle down, maybe I just need to clear my mind and focus to get a few more things done, then Balance could be helpful there. Or Serenity is wonderful as you're starting to get ready to go to sleep at night. Can help calm racing thoughts and help you start to ease into, transition into that evening time, slow down, get ready for sleep. So this would be maybe a tier 1 if you just need a little help shifting your mood. These would be the 4 oils that I would go to first. So even though they've been around the longest, these are still some of our most popular oil blends, particularly for emotional balance. Now, this next little group of oils I'm going to talk about, I'm just going to show you in their cute little box here. This is our emotional aromatherapy collection. And I think you can see them pretty well. Oop, there's going to be a little bit of glare. There we go. These are named so that they're very self-explanatory for what they do. So you can see we have cheer, passion, peace, motivate, console, and forgive. And when I like to recommend these oils is when you just need a little bit more help maybe. So you're thinking, I use the word therapy as my keyword. So if I'm feeling a little heavier emotion, maybe something with a little more weight to it, like grief, for instance, and I would feel like it's not just one afternoon that it pops up, but it's something that I'm experiencing over a season of time and I want to talk to somebody about it. So that could just be a trusted friend or relative. It might be a counselor, or it could be someone at church, like a pastor or a small group leader or a spiritual director. But if it's more than just a passing, I need to shift my mood in the afternoon, and you feel like you want to talk to somebody about it, then these essential oils are great companions in that processing. And so, as I mentioned, they're all just very easily named, so you would know which one to reach for what. And so I won't belabor that. But these are all, again, incredibly powerful blends. In a study, they were all found to be statistically significant for not only reducing negative emotions, but then also raising positive emotions. And so very powerful work on that collection of oils. And then where I want to land and spend a little bit of extra time is on our adaptive system. And let me just hold these up for you. We have the adaptive capsules, and then we have the 15 milliliter essential oil in its pure state, and then this is this same oil mixed with a carrier oil. So it just makes it really convenient to take with you. And I want to talk a little bit about why we would have all three. So this is our brand new calming blend. This was introduced at our most recent convention, and I've been testing it since September. And, normally at this time, I would say this is our third tier for emotional or mental wellness. And if you've been using a pharmaceutical or prescription medication and you would love to know more about a natural alternative, this would be my recommendation. But I feel like I want to add to that over time as I've used this personally. I've not taken a medication before for mental or emotional wellness, but I still find huge value in using this line. I take the capsules one every morning, and I diffuse this throughout the day, every day in our home. I have multiple diffusers in our kitchen and our living room. I'm always diffusing adaptive during the day. And then I use the roller on my wrists and the back of my neck as I go out and about during my day. And I am going to put a little bit on because when I did my muscle testing, this was the oil that I held up and it said, yep, you could use just a little bit more. And so this is actually great if you've ever experienced stress. And so if there's anybody here who's ever experienced stress, then you may want to use this essential oil blend. So let me get back to saying, why would we have all three components? First of all, I want to say that they do slightly different things in the body, the way that they move through the body. And I'm going to be teaching a full class on this adaptive line. I've been studying up, and we've just been given some new information recently. And so I'm trying to balance in my brain how much to say right now, so that I don't end up teaching the whole class right now, because then that'll take an hour, and we don't want to do that. But briefly, the reason why we would have a capsule as well as the essential oil, and I would say use them all during the day, is that they move through the body in different ways. And we'll talk more about in the class pathway. So this product moves through your central nervous system in the body and affects that pathway. And the essential oils interact with the olfactory system and move through the body according to that pathway. And so in the class, we're going to take a deeper dive into brain health and function, and what does pathway mean, and more of the science in depth on how these work. But in the moment, what I want to do is compare this to when you take a pharmaceutical or a medication. Like I said, I've not personally done that, but I have several close family members who have shared their stories with me in looking for something like this, a natural alternative. And their complaints have been things like changes to the metabolism, weight gain, trouble sleeping, and even changes to the personality. And so this is called calming blend. A lot of times, I believe with medication, you're going to experience that coming down. So if we want to balance something like anxiety or some type of high level emotion that would be negative, such as overwhelm, we want to bring that down. What we don't want to do is come all the way down into numbing or loss of personality or loss of emotion when you want to feel joyful about something, or you want to enjoy a task or an activity or spending time with loved ones. You don't want to lose your ability to experience excitement and joy. You don't want to come so far down that you lose yourself. And so the beauty of the ingredients in the adaptive capsules as well as the essential oil is that there are a number of ingredients that not only stabilize by calming the mind and controlling racing thoughts, but then they also uplift so that you can think clearly and focus and have joy. It's really an incredible balance of essential oils and then ingredients in the capsules as well. So then let me introduce a brand new feature to this system. In addition to the essential oil, I want to show you on my phone the adaptive app. And so I'm just going to show you my home screen here and click in together. Hopefully we can, it's really, maybe if I hold it this way, you can see. Okay, so once it loads, if you're familiar with Headspace or Calm, as far as mindfulness meditation software apps, this is highly comparable. I used to be a Headspace subscriber, and I have switched over to adaptive. I've just finished my 7-day free trial of the product, and I'm getting ready to purchase the premium package. And I'm in love with it. I love the functionality. It looks beautiful. You can scroll up and you can see the different choices like you would have available to you through Headspace or Calm. Lots of different topics. I'll just read out a few of these. Counted breath, effort and ease, just exactly what you would expect to see as far as guided meditation. It gives you a stats page, so you can see, you take a baseline questionnaire to start. You talk about how you're feeling. I wish you could see this a little better. You can tell I've been consistently feeling happy. You input information about what you're thinking about most often. There are some categories there, including work, finances, relationships, health, etc. And then it totals up how many minutes you've meditated, your streaks, what courses you've completed, and so on. So very comparable with products like Headspace and Calm. Now, where this enters its own new territory is you can also enter in if you've used your adaptive products today. And so it has this feature where you can do a journal entry there. I think you can see that right there. So there's a calendar and you would click on the date, and I've already entered my journal entry for today. And I've added that today I was focused on work and family. And then I don't think it's showing any more detail. And that little face there indicates that I was happy. And within that section, you also have the opportunity to say if you've used any of the adaptive products today. Oh, and one more feature is you rate how you did sleeping. So you have this opportunity over time to look at the impact of all of these things together. Meditation, how I'm feeling overall, the quality of my sleep, and if I'm using my essential oils. So very cool. Obviously, the incorporation of the essential oils is a differentiator compared to Headspace and Calm. But then there's one more thing. There's brand new technology, which is voice activated. We are working with a company called Canary Speech, who has identified 2,500 plus biomarkers in our speech, which helps them tell how stressed out or how well we are. And so as a final piece to layer in, you have this voice recorded technology, which is going to give you feedback on, it's going to pick up if it feels like you're not getting enough sleep, or you're overly stressed, or you're experiencing chronic stress over a longer period of time. It's fascinating. It's going to give you the ability to track all of that data that you're inputting. How's my sleep? How's my overall mood? Am I using my essential oils? Am I meditating? And what is the result of all these efforts? And is there ebb and flow based on what I'm doing? So I think it just becomes another amazing tool to have in your tool belt. So the very exciting news about that is that anybody can try it for 7 days for free. You just need to go into your app store and type in Adaptive, and it's ADAPTIV. Just search Adaptive app and you'll have access automatically to 7 days for free. And then the really exciting part is if you happen to be a healthcare worker, any healthcare profession, if you are an essential worker of any kind, and or if you've lost your job due to the current coronavirus circumstances, then I have a number for you. You're going to just call in to doTERRA and let them know your circumstances, and they're going to give you a 90-day free trial on the app, which I love that that's available to us. And so I want to give you just a little bit of information. If you're ready to start using your essential oils, and based on what Nicole and I have shared tonight, you're excited to try out your muscle testing, sway test, and see what oils that you might have on hand could be helpful to you. If you're already a customer or a member, we encourage you strongly, get out your essential oils. They've just been so supportive to us during this time. I can't even tell you how often during the day I'm taking my supplements and I'm using a variety of essential oils to help me balance all the emotions and just all the information coming at me all the time. And so get out your reference books, do your testing, and start using your oils. If you're ready to sign up with your own account, that's the smartest way to buy. We now have 7 different enrollment kits to choose from. And all of these kits waive the $35 initiation fee, so you won't have to pay that. We have our standard kits, Simple Solutions, Healthy Start, Healthy Habits, Healthy Essentials, Healthy Home, and Natural Solutions. And now we have the brand new Adaptive Kit. So you can wrap an annual subscription to the premium content of the Adaptive app with the whole Adaptive Kit, all 3 components, for $150. And it's a fantastic deal. Just to put into context the cost of the app and maybe do a little comparison with what's out there, I mentioned that I was a former Headspace subscriber. And so you can pay either $12.99 a month for Headspace, or you can get a deal on an annual subscription for $95. That's what I had done. If you want to check out the Adaptive app, you can do a $10 per month subscription. If you want to try it on a month-to-month basis, you could start there. That works out to $120 a year. But if you go for the annual membership, they build in the discount, bring it down to $100 a year, and that's roughly $8 a month. And then if you do like for instance, I'm already a doTERRA member and I just want to add the Adaptive app and link it with my account, I can actually order the Adaptive app through my back office. I'll just put it in my cart, the same as I would order an essential oil, and I'm only going to pay $75 a year, so that brings the cost down to $6.25 a month, and I get 50 PV for that. And then if you want to enroll with the Adaptive system, I mentioned it's $150. That brings the cost of the app down to about $550 a month, which is a great deal. You again have the $35 waived, and you're also paying below wholesale for your Adaptive kit, the capsules and the 2 oils. So some amazing deals. If you're not quite ready to get started and you'd like to learn more before you move forward, we are teaching classes all the time as a free love offering service to our team and anyone who would want to come and join us. So look for a couple of upcoming classes. I mentioned the in-depth adaptive class is coming in May. I'll also be doing another beginner class, which is called Essential Oils Made Easy. That will be coming in May. And we have a fun BOGO after party that I'm going to be doing for sure. That one's scheduled. It's Tuesday, May 5th at 7 o'clock. It will be in this Zoom format for sure. And so we'd love to have you tune in if you'd like to learn more about our BOGO oils. The other classes and more will be scheduled. And so just either reach out to Nicole, myself, or whoever invited you tonight to join us for those future classes. And so I just want to thank everyone for attending. This is going to be the end of our formal presentation, and so I'm going to stop the recording. If you've been watching the recording, we're so thrilled to have you. Please connect with whoever invited you to watch and make sure you get any questions answered and get yourself well taken care of. And we bid you a good night. We're now just going to switch over to our live guests and take any questions that they may have. Thanks so much, and God bless you all.